Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Hi, receptionist said you wanted some water.
Yes, thank you.
All right, I'm Bobby. I'm the dietitian.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm well. Did you have a good day so far?
Yeah. I went to the gym.
Went to the gym. What did you do in the gym today?
Upper body.
Upper body.
Yeah, I did bench press.
Yeah.
Some back work and some arms.
Nice. I've done a little bit of working out in the past myself.
No, really?
Have you had a good week? Work going well?
Work's going okay as far as work can go. But it's been nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah, this meeting. I mean.
Yeah.
The doctor said I have diabetes. Yeah.
And that's what brought you in here today?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So why don't you give me a little bit of rundown on what it is that you know about diabetes, and we'll go from there.
Very little.
Okay.
I know that my family has a history of diabetes.
Okay.
Other than that, I just don't know a whole lot.
So if it's okay with you, I'd like to give you a little rundown about what diabetes is.
Please.
All right. So basically, well, let's start with this. Can you tell me, what do you know about carbohydrates? You know what they are?
Well, yeah, just like breads and stuff like that.
Yeah, so your breads, your rices, your potatoes, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Easy enough. All right, so when we eat these foods, what happens is our liver creates glucose. Glucose is just sugar, and that's what our body uses for energy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so think about the sugar as like table sugar, little fine crystals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the sugar needs a home, and that depends on like what needs energy at a time. So whether that is a muscle, your brain, anything like that. All right, so at the front of these muscles, think of there being a lock, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the glucose is there, but the door's locked. All right, so our pancreas, it releases insulin.
Mm-hmm.
Insulin's a storage hormone. So it goes around, and insulin goes around, and it unlocks these doors. It lets some glucose in when the muscles need them, and then the door closes, insulin's done. Insulin's job's done. Okay? So what happens is, so our muscles can only hold so much glucose. They're at capacity for glucose. So what it does is our pancreas releases more insulin, and it really opens up those doors, and it helps more glucose get shoved in there, more than what is meant to be in there, right? So eventually what happens is our muscles, they go, no more. Like, you're not gonna get in here, insulin. You're not gonna unlock this door. We can't hold any more glucose.
Kind of like a restaurant.
Yeah, kind of like a restaurant. So
yeah.
There's only so many seats at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And until someone gets up and leaves, so until we work out or we do some sort of form of activity
Mm-hmm.
to burn off this glucose, then those people are just sitting there. They may not be eating anymore. They may just just be playing on Candy Crush or something on their phones. But you still gotta wait because they're holding that table up. Okay?
Got it.
All that makes sense. Everything 100%.
Yeah.
I'll make sure we're on perfectly the same page here.
Yeah.
All right. So what I want to do with you is, so you filled out a nutrition assessment form.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go over that with you real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a medical history of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, are these ongoing issues?
No, I've taken care of those.
Okay. Okay. So think about your diabetes just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you had an issue. You saw a professional,
Mm-hmm.
and now the issues are gone.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do with your diabetes.
Good.
Good. All right. No eating disorders, no allergies. We have about 3 beers a week.
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly. Okay. And that's not bad. That's it's not as bad as it could be.
Mm-hmm.
So, any other alcohols you enjoy drinking though?
I like wine.
You like wine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we could think about switching out beers for wine. I mean, if you're gonna have the alcohol, you might as well get some good benefits from it. Wine actually has some really good effects on our HDL levels, so our good cholesterol. And so if you're gonna drink it, then you might as well get some goodness from it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I like wine.
So we don't smoke. We don't take multivitamins or any other vitamins. Prescription medications. We take metformin, 500 milligrams twice a day, and we take, what's this?
Vyvanse.
Vyvanse. And what's that for?
ADHD.
ADHD. Okay. So some of these medications can actually cause an increase to our metabolic rate,
Mm-hmm.
because it cause like our heart rate to increase and things like that. So this will be something to keep an eye on later on if we really have to work on like counting calories and things like that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So it looks like we eat out 5 to 6 times a week. Okay. Can you sound like maybe like some of your choices when you go eat out, like restaurants you eat out at or take out?
Just whatever's convenient.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and that's actually what we write on our eating environment too. Just whenever's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you eat, do you typically eat alone? Do you eat with like coworkers, your spouse?
I work a lot of hours, and it's hard for me to get to work to have dinner with my spouse,
Okay.
my husband.
Yeah.
And when I'm at work, I don't really feel like I have a lot of time to get to eat. So I try to sit down, eat, get it out of the way, and then go back to work.
Is that like a necessity, or like do you have like a set time that you could actually sit and eat if you wanted to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm given an hour break. It's just
Okay.
I've got so much work. I just prefer to get up and get it done.
Well,
so I don't like to sit with anybody else.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to work on, later on in some future sessions would be actually like sitting down and like taking our time with our foods and enjoying them more.
Mm-hmm.
To have a better relationship with food for one, but also the slower we eat and the more mindful we are about what we're eating, the easier our body can send a satiety signal from our stomach to our brain telling us that we're full. So it'll stop like a lot of overconsumption, things like that.
Okay.
And that's something we can work on later. We don't have to worry about that today.
Okay.
So nutrition counseling goal would be just to be healthier and to control our diabetes.
Yeah.
Okay. Be healthier, awesome. That's what we want. By the end of this, hopefully you'll leave here knowing that the goal is to reverse your diabetes.
Right.
To get rid of that.
Yeah.
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 All right. So you made available. You did a 24-hour recall for me.
Yeah.
Just to make sure this was from the time we woke up to the time we went to bed, right?
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay. Perfect. So I should come through and highlight a few things. Maybe we can talk about some changes we could make.
Yeah, I would love
Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, if you could recommend anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so I see with breakfast we had 2 biscuits with gravy, 2 cups of hash browns, and we also had apple and orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so with what we talked about earlier as far as like what carbohydrates were, how they affect our blood sugars, could you see any like changes that you would like to make in these meals?
I can see a lot of changes. I'll definitely cut back on the carbs, like the biscuits, the gravy, the hash browns.
Yep.
Especially the juices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I can add some more protein.
Yeah, absolutely. So a good way to do that would be just to get maybe some extra eggs in there would be a good choice. I don't know what meat options they have, but you could actually add a meat in there as well.
Okay.
If you wanted to. So with the biscuits, I'm not about taking stuff away from people. I just want people to be more mindful about like what serving sizes are. So instead of we wouldn't take away your biscuits, we would maybe just like only have 1 biscuit and then half the gravy. And for hash browns, we had 2 cups. Maybe we could just have 1 cup.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that sound to you?
I think it sounds really good.
Okay. Any certain reason for the apple and the orange juice?
I just happen to like my juices. I really like them. But as a matter of fact, I think I might switch that out. I like tea.
Okay.
So hot tea.
Okay,
So
nice.
maybe I can try that in the morning. And I think the caffeine might give me a bit of a boost too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we had fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, cornbread. We had some green beans, so we had our vegetables in there. But then we had a large Coke as well.
Yeah.
All right, any changes in this meal that you can see?
No, I see a lot more carbs in there, just like breakfast. So the fried chicken had. I don't have to go with fried chicken. They do like fried and grilled chicken.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll have another option like fish or steak, things like that.
Nice. So those would definitely be some healthier options. So going grilled instead of fried, going fish, nice lean protein choices like that would be really good.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about these, to be honest with you. So the large Coke,
Yeah, I think I could probably get rid of the Coke. My doctor's gonna want me to get rid of that too.
Okay. There's one thing that I'll bring up to you before you go ahead and cut these out of your diet. So the caffeine and stuff that's in Coke, it's highly addictive.
Mm-hmm.
So what I wouldn't want you to do is to cut it out completely, and then go through the rest of your day with withdrawal symptoms, with headaches and fogginess and things like that.
Yeah.
So a good choice you could do here is just to swap out a regular Coke for a Diet Coke.
Okay.
The taste is roughly the same-ish. So taste-wise, you won't notice too big of a difference. You'll still get that carbonation, which is the reason I think most people drink Coke anyways.
Pretty much.
So you'd still have that. So that could be a good option for you.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I like that too. Can we also switch out the cornbread for like an extra vegetable or something?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great choice. So you would actually have 2 servings of vegetables here instead of just 1.
Okay.
All right. So here about 8:30, looks like we went to White Castle. We had 4 sliders, large fry, large Coke.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Could you, just from what we talked about so far, do you think of like anything you could do differently?
I personally would prefer to get rid of the eating out that, especially that late at night.
Okay.
Maybe I could just have some food at home.
Okay.
It's just so hard for me. I work a lot of hours when I come home. I just don't feel like cooking, and
Okay.
I don't even get a chance to go to a grocery store.
Okay.
But maybe I can get my husband.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that you guys could do together. Do a little bonding there.
Yeah.
So you guys could, grocery shop together, cook together.
Yeah.
I know you said you eat here at like 8:30, so that's kind of late. But even if like he doesn't eat with you, you guys could just be together at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be great. And then like a good like makeup for that meal would be like a lean protein, carb choice.
Mm-hmm.
So you could still have like potatoes, rice, things like that. And then like you did with your lunch on your own, you could double down on like a vegetable with that meal as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And then here about 11 o'clock we had half a pack of saltines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the munchies.
So that's a pretty carb heavy meal right there.
Mm-hmm.
Could you think of anything that like you would like to change that out with?
There are. What about nuts? Are there a lot of carbs in that?
Not really. Not a great abundance of carbs.
They fill you up, though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, something like some almonds or some walnuts, things like that.
Okay.
Things that are good for you as well.
Okay.
All right. So I think we touched on some really good things here.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about all this?
It's very hopeful.
Do you feel like going forward you'd have like a better idea of what to do with your meals?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah?
I wouldn't mind. Do you guys have any way of helping me further with that idea?
Absolutely we do. I actually have some good stuff for you right here that we'll go over.
Perfect.
Right. So for typically for diabetes, what we focus on carb counting.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to overwhelm you with this right now. I don't want you to leave here thinking that this guy just said a bunch of words to me, and I don't recall much of it. All right, so this will cover carb counting in like our next session, maybe a session after that, depending on how you feel about it. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah. The less you put in my head, the better. I get overwhelmed easily.
So one thing I'd really like to go over with you today is so we have right here. I just want to kind of show you like, and this is why like type 2 is so prevalent in our society. Is 20 years ago the average just Coke or soda had 85 calories in it.
Mm-hmm.
Today the average soda has 250 calories.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So everything we're making everything bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's the generation of big gulps here. All right, so 20 years ago, a slice of pizza had about 500 calories.
Yeah.
And today, about the average pizza has about 850.
There's not really much of a difference in the slice.
Not much of a difference in the slice at all. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so this would be a really good thing. This would be good for you for day-to-day life, especially when you're at work. Because I imagine you don't want to carry a food scale with you to work.
No.
All right, so eventually we'll go over like all of like how many carbs you should be having with each meal.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, what I want you to keep in mind is about your fist is about 30 grams of carbs or about 1 cup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so So when you sit down for your meal, you can line up your hand with your carb choice, and you can be like, all right, that is about a cup right there.
You get a lot more than I do.
And then like, so your palm size, so like a deck of cards, that'll be about 3 ounces of meat. And then your whole thumb's about a serving of like salad dressing. And then the thumb tip is about a teaspoon of like butter or mayonnaise or stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so what we have here is just an idea of how we want to build your plates for now on. So what we have is, we have a standard plate here. About half that plate we want to be non-starchy vegetables. Okay. So those are going to be like your zucchini, squash, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, things like that. Okay. So these things aren't really going to spike your blood sugar at all. They aren't really going to have much effect on it. Okay. And plus you're going to get some really good fiber from it.
Okay.
All right. About a quarter of our plate we want to be, that'll be like our starchy vegetables. So that'll be our greens, our potatoes, this will be pasta, rice, things like that. So we just want about a quarter of our plate to be that.
Okay.
And then the other quarter, we want to be our lean proteins. So that'll be our chickens, our turkey, our leaner beef cuts. So it'll be like sirloins, 93.7 ground beef, things like that.
Okay.
Fish will go in there as well.
Okay.
And then on the sides, we can have like a cup of milk, a fruit serving, or like a green salad. Now with the salads, the thing to be mindful of is like how much dressing you use.
Yeah.
Again, that could be like you could use your thumb to kind of measure that out.
Okay.
How's all this look to you so far? I don't want to overwhelm you here. I know it's a lot.
I don't think I'm feeling overwhelmed yet.
Okay.
No.
Another thing to keep in mind is that all this stuff will be going with you today. So.
Okay. Good.
So you don't have to remember all this right now. You'll have it for reference later.
Good. My husband and I can go over this.
Exactly. It's a team effort. All right. So right here, all I did is provide for you is a list of like what a serving size is for certain foods. Okay. So we ate biscuits in the morning. So about 2 inches across, so 2 inch diameter, 2.5 inch diameter is about a serving. Okay. About a half cup, so half of our fist.
Okay.
That'll be about that'll be a serving of potatoes. Then we have our lentils, and then one thing I do want to point out to you down here is that 1 1/4 square inch, so 1 1/4 square inch of brownie is 1 serving.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't want you to think that like you can't have anything that you want to eat. The thing is like, I don't want to pull things from the table. I just want to limit how much we're putting on the table at once. Right?
So we're focusing on portions.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
We just want to focus on moderation for now.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So do you have any questions up to this point?
No.
Right. So one thing I want to do before we go is I want to set a goal for you.
Okay.
Right. So whether this is I'm going to eat one last biscuit or whatever, I want you to make the goal, and it's something we're going to do for this coming week.
Well, how about I do one for my doctor?
Okay.
He wants me to cut back on the sodas, like we mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we want to cut them out? We want to switch them out? What are you going to do?
I think we were. How about we just switched out from like regular cola to like a Diet Coke?
That's perfect.
Okay.
So we want to switch to Diet Coke. All right. So what we have is a scale. We have one of I'm going to drink all the Coke I want. Screw you. And we're going to have 10 like I'm going to have only Diet Coke. Where would you say you fall?
I would say about 4.
About a 4?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got to ask, why do you say a 2?
Why didn't I say a 2?
Yeah, why do you say 2? Like, why do you feel so much more that you'll do it that you didn't pick a 2?
Well, because I really want to get this done.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if I really feel that way, I guess I could have gone higher, right?
You could have, yeah.
Yeah, I just 2 just seemed like a little too close to not getting it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So getting it done is really important to you. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
All right. So why didn't we say like a 7?
Well, because I just know realistically can't really have all those goals right away.
Okay. But it is very important to you to get it done, right?
Yes.
Like controlling your blood sugar, switching out these Cokes for Diet Cokes is really important to you.
Yeah, so maybe I should stop being maybe I should just go ahead and go for a higher number then.
Okay.
Yeah. How about, you know what, why don't we try and go for a 7?
Good. That's what I want to hear. All right. See, we're this much closer to 10. We're so much closer to not having a regular Coke for the week. All right. So that's what I want to work on. When do you want to meet up again?
Sooner the better.
Okay.
How about next week?
Next week works for me. All right, so I'll get that set up. Now, do you have any other questions?
No.
All right, sounds good. All right, thank you.